Esports is what we live and breathe. For us, it's more than a game. It's a reality, where a group of letters can mean everything. Where Mirage is a place for bombs, battles, and glory, not an illusion. Where the true heroes are those in front of the screen. GG Bet. This is real.
To succeed in this game, you need to invest in yourself. Be daring. Innovate. Calculate. Never hesitate. Follow your instincts. Don't follow the crowd. Back yourself. Bank your wealth. Analyze, strategize, and galvanize. Now is the time. Take your shot.
well, now we get to what I think could very well be the game of the day, at least for us over here on the B stream, right? Team Liquid taking on Imperial. This is a matchup that, you know, quite literally has kind of felt like it's been years in the making, right? Like, it's a very, very cool moment to get to watch this, not just because, obviously, Fallen was recently in this Liquid team, or at least an iteration of this Liquid team, but kind of goes back a lot deeper than that, right?
Yeah, it's a bit of a blast from the past, right? I went to look at the previous, the match of the last time these two core lineups played each other. It was 2018, Harry, right? When obviously the Fallen for Bolt's trio was back in SK, and Liquid obviously with Nitro, you know, pre-leaving before he left. You know, now he's back obviously up in this squad. That was also when Stewie was playing for SK and Taco was playing for Liquid. Neither of those two players obviously in the server now, but man, what a weird time, what an exciting time to see this matchup. And yeah, the additional impact of, as you just said, Fallen has recently played for Liquid, and you know, it was actually kind of exciting to watch him there as well. His rifling was pretty incredulous recently. Obviously got, you know, this Imperial squad on our screens now, Vinny from Furia, FNX bringing it back, and he's pretty solid as well.
Yeah, dude, okay, so considering when this team was formed, one of the first things that was kind of said publicly was like, yeah, we're probably not going to just like win stuff from the get-go, or maybe not even at all. Like, you know, that was like almost the start. I think it was an interview with Vinny, I'm pretty sure, where that line like came through, but man, like, they made it through the RMR in a pretty damn convincing fashion. Like, they looked pretty good there. I think Fur gave us some banging games. I think Fallen had his moments. Vinny was probably be like the guy I'd say, like, I still think we can see even more from, because this guy had a really good level back in Furia, but he's a very exciting piece of this puzzle. On the other side of things, we've got a new look Liquid, right? It's the squad that we're starting to warm up to, starting to come around to. OC in here, that's the guy on screen right now. Going to get to see some AWP antics out of him. Can't wait to get that one going. I think the head-to-head of him and Fallen's going to be pretty exciting. But what have been your impressions of this new Liquid squad so far?
Disappointing in their opener right at this major so far. They took on G2 and Inferno, fell apart. But G2, one of the favorites to win the whole damn enchilada, so you can sort of brush that under the rug. For Liquid, I got to say this is a must-win game. I do want to go back to that point where you said, you know, Imperial said, oh, we might not win stuff at all. We might more just be a content team, you know, for the fans. Hey, we're back. They're still at the major. That's a huge accomplishment. Even getting this far through the RMR is sick for Imperial as a squad. And also, it was Fallen who initially said that, but Maui spoke to Vinny back at the RMR, and Vinny came in and said, like, Maui asked him, what is your game, not game plan, what is your focus? Is it the content and the brand, or is it to compete? And Vinny immediately said to compete, right? And he's obviously come from Furia after their peak in 2020 and dominating back in NA and high heights for this team, even top 8 of the last major were Furia. So, you know, Vinny knows what it's like to be at the top, as well as these other Imperial players that go back yonks. But we've got Inferno as a decider. I'm very surprised Liquid let that one through, in my opinion. Wow. I thought they would have gone for dust to close.
Dude, I think it's a super weird one. I think in a very abstract way, Imperial kind of got the upper hand in the veto, right? Like, the fact that it comes down to Dust or Inferno, Liquid had normally, at least if the RRs are anything to go by, weren't above trying to play Dust in BO1s, but we saw how that didn't really work out for them, right? And I do think it is a bit of a flip-floppy map in BO1 specifically, right? No one wants to end up on a Dust unless you really are, like, proficient Dust 2 teams. So the fact that we go to Inferno, I think actually gives Imperial a bit of a chance in this one, and certainly causes some worry for any Liquid fans.
I agree. You've given Imperial their best map in a BO1. Yes, Liquid are favorites. Yes, Inferno is no new map for this squad, but you know, I think I never say this, but I would have liked to see Dust 2. I would have liked to see Liquid lean that way. They've obviously come through with a game plan. They come in prepped. Their Inferno earlier on didn't go to plan against G2. But this is a very different level of competition, at least in current forms, not if we go way back. Yeah, you know, a blast from the past, and I'm excited to see it, regardless of who comes out on top today.
One of the things I am excited about having Inferno here is for Imperial, great map. I think keep your eye on Fur, for CT's half especially, right? He is super mobile. They give him a great degree of freedom, right? They'll sometimes like lean into the triple B early, and then Fur's often the guy that's kind of freed up to play between either side of the map. He had some great moments back at the RMR doing that. I think the first game I got to cast with him, he dropped like a 30 bomb, like just from the get-go, playing this like rotate role between B and A, and it feels like they're not above, you know, like kind of giving him that faith, giving them that ability to have his own view on how the round's panning out, and a lot of freedom that comes with that. So yeah, definitely keep your eye on Fur.
Yeah, and Vinferno, we called this this map when he was back in Furia, so he's more than comfortable as well. You know, on the other side, OC, definitely one of the hottest talents in NA right now, a region that is lacking AWP players. OC is extremely quick on his, but we'll have to see that maybe in the second half as Liquid will start out on the T side. Fallen with the util, and Liquid have a couple of sets as well. So in we go. Welcome, folks. It's Imperial, it's Liquid. It's an 0-1 matchup here at the Major. All to play for.
And it is a slow start out of Liquid in this pistol round. Nothing rip-roaring from the get-go. Likewise for Imperial, right? No crazy mid-push. Something that's become a bit of a norm in these CT pistols for aggressive teams. Instead, they've elected for this quad mid setup, and I like this, right? Normally, if you're going to sacrifice having 4 players over towards A, you kind of want to take that mid fight. You kind of want to try to entice them in. The fact that they don't gives Liquid this false sense of security that it's a more standard 3-2 pistol out of Imperial. So as they lob this util in, the one kind of vulnerability was the apartments, but this is where you're hoping that a crunch into top mid can find you a way back in. Fur with a double. And now having a hold on all along, Elise tries to fight him, but Fur's in with a third. Still, you can't put a stop to this guy. Bolts is now wrapping the library as well. Hasn't had a chance to play into the round yet, but his time is coming. Fur up through the short side, smoke in his hands as well. That's big. That can lock shocks off, right? There's this little crossfire being held right now. Might never even come into fruition as they get the spot. Smoke goes in, and luckily enough, both Shocks and Nitro get a kill apiece to find that one for Liquid. With the smoke dropped into Fur's hands, I was worried, man. I was nervous, but Liquid are able to hold on.
Yeah, they almost got ahead of themselves, right? When Liquid got the double pick, they were like, oh yeah, we got A, man. I'm going to run it, and that's when Fur pops up with a double in mid. How the hell did Lee get up on Robs? Did he get boosted, or did he make the solo jump?
No, he made the jump.
Very quickly indeed as well to make that solo jump. Very nice for Elise, even though it doesn't get a kill. It's stylish, and you know, we're all about style at the end of the day. 1-0, Liquid, slip it past the keeper. And Fallen, all right, straight in the back of the net.
Yes, baby, that's bad Fallen right there.
Grr. Flash peek, and Fur with a FAMAS will take down Shock. So already those 2 guns have been thrown into opening fights and come out top trumps.
So what I say, man, Fur's given a lot of freedom, they're giving a lot of respect to pop off on this map, right? He's gone to FAMAS in this round, and he was the guy kind of swinging and fighting for this early banana control. Now he doesn't back up, he doesn't leave it entirely. Instead, he's boosted right now up on top of the half wall of Bolts. He's trying to reel them in. Flash over, Bolts is good for 1, and Fur doesn't risk overextending. He knows that just by playing the numbers game here, Imperial are right where they want to be. He's going to fall back into the B site, offer up a bit of resistance on this push. He got 3 in the pistol. He's able to do that again. Finds Imperial around. Tucked in, the molly hasn't burnt him out entirely, and so now he drops the bomb on the cross. Nafly is dead as he's run down by Vinny, and so the response is immediate out of Imperial.
Yeah, I mean, that round was cooked from the get-go with Fallen's scout mid and Fur's 1v1 banana, but Fur just plays it beautifully, doesn't he? Getting away, knowing when he didn't need to fight for the trade, and somehow finding the pocket of air between the orange and the quad molly on the B-bomb site. Not much room to move, but Fur stands tall as Vinny comes through the smoke. Imperial pick up their force buy. Liquid, they've got to go right back in with one of their own, but it's going to pale in comparison. Just Eagles, and Imperial don't need to offer up these early kills. Fur's feeling it though, he's hungry for 1. Careful, the pre-fire leaks. Nitro gets dinked, and with that smoke out, Imperial now own banana. Liquid's options are gone.
And I mean, once again, you know, like this is a very good example, once more, of Fer just being this guy that kind of gets to free roam. A lot of this is coming off of Bolts right now, who has this advanced positioning at Banana with the smoke down. He's able to just nullify this entire side of the map. And so Fer's given all this freedom to go and reinforce A as a result. Now, it does mean Bolts cannot get caught here. And if he does, you're in for a big bit of trouble. Elige can't back out, and he will get ran down. The rest of Liquid starting to group for the B hit. However, Fer has maneuvered his way back over. They didn't hear or see anything at this A site that led them to believe was the play in question. Fer's blinded, but still able to hold the line. It didn't feel like he had any right to get a double there, but he does, and Bolts is able to help him out. So Imperial, they deal with the Deeg buy, they deal with the Force, and they're now the ones in pole position.
Yeah, that's the pain of going for the contact, right, for Liquid. They didn't want to announce it with a CT smoke. They wanted to get a pick off the flash, and hey, they were poised for it. First, so blinded, but with him and Bolts on a crossfire, it's flawless for Imperial. 2-1 and a full eco. It's only going to get better before it gets worse for the CT side. Able to build up early as Liquid have not a dollar of investment into this round. 4 Glocks. Nades on the plate. Banana's taken. Good HE. Ooh. Wow. Nap. He got hit in lower tunnel by the first nade, and then he gets finished in the alt mid. Bolts is taken all the way towards T-Ramp, and even though OC gets a spot, what's a Glock gonna do?
Yeah, Fer's even here to back him up, man. This little like firing squad of these two down over towards this Banana area has just been so punishing already. You know, still early days, don't get me wrong. This is just an eco that they're brushing aside. It was meant to be clean, and it is. But I think Liquid are going to have to try and get a handle on that. They're going to have to try and do something about this Fer-Bolts combo over towards B, because it's been problematic for a lot of teams in the past, and already there's kind of signs of that showing through in this game now. Excited to see what the remedy is going to be in this first rifle round.
Elige is really praying for a kill, but they ain't going to give it to him. The burst does some nice damage, but yeah, not taking any weapons out of that round. Imperial 3-1 up. Very good start considering the way the pistol went. And even then they had that read with the 4-man A stack. You know, that was quite a read on the pistol, by the way, because they had no kit in that round and they were 4 on 8. So if that goes B, it's just instantly decided. 3-1. And here's that first buy for Liquid. Even then, it's not pretty. Triple B, Imperial want to get that banana control immediately. Substituted by a mid-smoke thrown from a spawn. They don't need to worry about these quicker A approaches. Liquid will be giving it, but it's coming up alt mid instead.
I love the decision to throw that smoke in when you're playing the triple B early, because it gives the illusion that you might be peeking with an AWP around it, right? So it tapers off a lot of the mid-aggression out of Liquid, and they weren't able to punish that early 2-man setup. Now they get out top mid, but their 3rd man's already here, right? Fallen's already back over. Even though he's been smoked off at library, able to get the info, still takes one to the dome, doesn't he? Shocks out through the apartment, good for a kill. Vinny down in the pit, can't get anything done, and he will get overwhelmed. So that's the round right there. 3 kills come in very, very quickly. And Imperial kind of blindsided by the pace, by the precedent that's just been set in that first rifle round. They will have to save on Fer and Bolts. And I mean, that's one way to deal with these 2 stalwart B defenders. Just avoid them.
Yeah, only works so much, though. Like you said, Fallen was even in position at the right time, but Liquid, very nice space taken through that mid-smoke. Part of that comes off of the jump spot in alt mid. They go on the fence to go balcony, and they jump over the mid-smoke, and they see that no one's actually holding it. So Liquid just don't respect it and go right through, somewhat based off of the read that it would be a triple B, I imagine. And that's only confirmed by a utility down banana in the early round. Saves are allowed. As hungry as, you know, every player wants to be in peaking at the end, they'll decide against it. Imperial hold their stock. And Fallen's even got the big green. The more the better, I say, in this matchup. We have 2 very explosive AWP players. And Liquid, a sigh of relief as they win a rifle round with very little up their sleeve. Just AKs and 1 or 2 bits of util each. Standard 2B. Vinny crossing middle, not going to go all the way along, just getting util down. In the same case in Banana. Force is Shock's smoke just to keep him standing. Fallen's even found the pick. A late peek from the short side to take a lead out of the underpass. A 5-on-4 for Imperial. They go back into a nice tight setup.
Where's the solution going to be for Liquid here? They're set up like they want to try and hit B. They've conceded all this apartments control, right? Nafly's up and out of there. And so they are going to be walking into this B site. They're not really left with any other options. The only thing they've got is time. They could go back and try re-clear other areas, but it's going to waste a lot of time off the clock here. They will start to divert back into middle, lobbing this util in towards the A side of the map, but that bomb still waits over at Banana. Feels like it's always been destined to end in a B play here, and Imperial have not fallen for this. They are not convinced by this little trickle of util that comes out over towards the A side. There might be a long smoke, there might be mollies on shore, but they've not moved a muscle. They're still triple set inside of B. Fallen catches the first man crossing. The alarm bells are already going off. Why is Fallen here, Liquid is saying, and they were never ready for Fur, who's boosted up and over.
No.
They've seen Bolts and he can't find the timing. It does start to get a little bit weird now. Nafly plugging in those numbers. Fur tries to deny it. It's good damage on the spam that he is able to convert, and now Shocks 1v3, 2 through CT, 1 man up Banana. They need to find him.
Oh my god.
Need to locate this last man. Wrapping behind. Shocks, it's a lot of damage, but not the kill. Half the time ticked off this bomb already. Imperial now running into the site, and they will deal with Shocks. It's another brilliant round out of Fur. 11-1 currently. And he's put Imperial onto a 4.
Oh, I was very scared there for a second, right? Like, that triple setup was sold so well to just be 2 men, and Bolts was just not being considered, but kind of jumped the gun on that flank. Great spam for Fur, and Liquid put into a very awkward post plant. Shocks may have had the bomb for him, but he had to get that first kill to Vinny to open up his options. Fur right now doing everything in this CT side. It's what you prophesized coming into this map, Harry, and we're getting it. 11-1. In Fur, no, for a reason perhaps. He mollies, triple B, Bolts. He's going to meet them right at the top. Blinded wins the fight. Fur keeps spamming through the smoke. There's more nades to follow. Seems like they want to commit with this one. Fur is just dug in, tucked into this little car position. Very spammable. Liquid won't fire back though. They'll be given a chance to escape again. And Imperial once more fold in a 5v4. It's Liquid who have to go fish.
They're going to start to dissolve the B stack, right? Leaving it all on Fallen's AWP. Bomb for Liquid is over in top middle right now, along with the bulk of this team. Shark still just locked into a B lurk while the rest of the gang start to aggress out into mid. Util for Bolts is good. It's just denying this long angle, right? It's forcing them up the short side, where Imperial right now are triple stacked. They've got crossfires upon crossfires and a bait and switch. The third man just playing up on top of the box, up on top of Cold. It's going to be a rough time here for Liquid to break this one apart, surely. They're going to struggle to find a way in. Bolts over here at long. 1 could be enough, right? He's already kind of done his job. OC's got the bomb, and if that gets dropped here, it's a done deal. There's 15 seconds, and he started to scout out Arch. He needs to go. He needs to make some space in towards the site. And with the bomb now loose, there's no winning this round for Liquid. No matter how many kills they get, they cannot win it. And they were never ready for Fur, who once again is set up to try and have all that impact right at the end of the round. It was him in the bait and switch. He gets the 1 kill that just seals the deal at 8 seconds. Shocks was trying to get the bomb back, and it can't happen.
Yeah, it's Bolts that gets 4 though. I mean, he full blinded himself. He meant to flash over short side so they could peek from the site, and he accidentally bounces it back off, blinds himself. OC thinks he has a gap. I mean, he thinks he knows he has to go. There's 10 seconds, and he's solo on long with the bomb. And yeah, when that drop comes in, there's just no chance. Imperial, man, they have read Liquid in these rounds so far. They have just outpositioned them, you know, in almost every situation. So the calling is smooth right now from Fallen. need Liquid with a response. It shouldn't be in this one, though. They've got a lot of Molotovs. They've got good amount of utility to run and execute. It's just the weaponry that's always going to let you down. Bernardo getting taken in the meantime. Ooh, there's a nice little gap there that Shox can watch into and see if Imperial go one step too far.
It kind of feels like it's by design, though, right? Like, Bolt knows there's only one angle he's got to worry about. And there he is winning that fight.
Just going to force their hand. Once again, they've got to go.
And dude, like, once more, they're setting up Ver to just rotate over, to just be that fourth man. Bolts will actually be the one to pull the trigger on the rotate first. The rest of Liquid are now moving in, and the Tech-9s do find a double opener. Fallen's trapped on the other side of this Moto smoke, so they get the A kills. Even though Imperial had the read and were pulling bodies over, they still needed to win those first couple of fights. And that's going to seal the deal on the round. Liquid, they shouldn't have won that, right? They lose a player early on. Things get pretty dire. They're forced into the A play that Imperial are fully aware of. But they get the entries fast enough that the early rotate doesn't matter.
Yeah, that side player read the pathing wrong as well. Was watching right side pillar, but they actually came wide around the back of default. So that was just a 50-50 for him. And Liquid clear it perfectly with the Tech-9 taps. 2 entries and a Moto smoke on long decides it. Not often you get given around that easily, given how it started, but very nice conversion for Liquid to win an eco like that, to grab some guns as well. That's got to feel good. Saves their money. And Imperial do the same. Will be kept on, but yeah, it has been the Fur and Bolt show, the B players right now who are putting on quite a game for us right now.
Yeah, it's kind of insane as well, because there's only been like 3 B plays out of Liquid, and yet still it's the B players with all the kills right now, right? 22-4 on Bolts and Fur. 7 and 11 on everyone else in this Imperial squad.
I'll have a big glug.
You want fries with it?
Ugh, no.
Not in it, just like on the side, you know?
Potato chips will do, Harry. Right, Liquid. Nice to win a little eco like that, but you're not going to catch Imperial with a pants down every day. Standard B start 3 going short side. Looking again for Fallen's mid-peak late. And there's no AWP to stop him. Ooh, they're running up close. Fallen goes into Boiler instead, looking for Nap, who's coming in from the Apps boost. He's going to walk right in, freebie kill. There's even anti-flash players. Triple porch setup. See ya, says Vinny. FNX hits a headshot, blinded and falling off the top. Somehow puts up 3 in an instant for Imperial, leaving Shox and Nitro in what should be an undoable duel. Backup banana for Shox. No bomb. No plans to win this round, but if they can get it, all the more credit.
Shox is cleaned up, and I mean, Nitro's just playing for damage at this point, right? Out with a swing, has dealt with Vinny, was ready for a re-peek out of the pit. However, the longer he takes here, the more banana control's getting taken away, the more room is being stripped away from him, and quite soon he's left with this little sliver over in top middle to try and do damage. Both players down bottom. Banana just holding this angle. Nitro's dead as he walks the cross back. And Fur, still 1 death to his name at 14-1. He's having a field day right now. Imperial are up 6-3, and there's a bit of a money problem right now for Team Liquid. Naf's come in with a gun, but that's because he had the cash to do so. OC can put a bit of armor behind a pistol, but this is like a hero investment. You've got 1 gun in play and a collection of upgraded pistols around it.
Yeah, I'm surprised Nitro expects that much respect coming from the B players who know exactly where he's positioned. Naf is going to try and use his gun quick up B. No smoke, no mollies, no need for Liquid. They line up, but Fur will hit the shots, and Bolt helps with the kill. So Imperial get rid of that gun, and they dunk nades over the top of the half wall. Nitro gone as well. That gun's pretty irretrievable. Bolt's trying to make it so. Doesn't want to die just to stop a pickup, but instead it'll be Fallen tasked with holding down the angle, and this should be a freebie for him as well, unless OC has long fingers. He does, grabs it. Fallen now knows and hits a tag. Down to 10 for OC, and no more free kills coming through. Alish takes the AK, but he doesn't even have armor, so This round's still pretty cooked for Liquid. Not an eco they'll be converting this time. Fallen still keeping B in consideration.
They're grouping for another one of these B hits, but man, like as has often been the case, Imperial, you know, just kind of one step ahead, and I don't even think you need Fallen here to get the site locked in. Being real, he's just like a nice little bonus to have. Smoked up in CT, the AWP's nothing more than like a scary noise, but the USP will seal the deal. And so Imperial clean that one up. It never even gets worrying. The hero AK gets nothing done. And they're now up on a 7. Another pause out of Team Liquid.
Yeah.
They are starting to feel the pressure.
I like that pace change for Nat just to test what he can get away with, right? Really quick at B. I don't know if he wanted to commit to that fight up top B, but he was mollied out at car, so he kind of had to go for it. Played right into Imperial's hands. But it shows how even when they're not taking Banana, when they don't have 3 there and the AWP getting flashed in, they can still hold on easily enough. Followed up with a nade stack. So protocols in place for Imperial. And again, it kind of leans into what I was saying pre-map. Like, I'm kind of surprised that Liquid would want to play Imperial on their best map in a BO1. Even if Liquid like it as well. But that's the fear of Dust too, I guess. No one feels safe there in a BO1, except CIS teams, but I couldn't explain that to you. OC's got his AWP, first time here on the T side, and he's got big boots to fill.
Yeah, I think he's going to struggle to find a lot of impact with it, though, right? Like, because Imperial, it's like a yin and yang situation between these A and B bomb sites. Like, B has a lot of freedom to be hyper-aggressive, to take these early fights, to vie for banana control, whereas A is, like, super safe, super regimented. Yeah. So, as a result, like, OC, he's going to have to bring the fight to these A players. They're not going to go peeking into him. He's got to be the one taking these wide swings and creating that space if he wants to get value out of the AWP. Falling over here on short. Could get a clash of the AWPs right away.
Yeah, but he doesn't want that. He's given it up. This was a triple porch side setup again for Imperial, and right as their util runs out in middle, they just give it up. They go back into another safe setup. They force Liquid to either go into this, you know, unstoppable B force or explode into the A stack. Fallen will fall to OC. He wins his AWP battle, and they almost committed into bolts, but he hears the rotate out, and he can flank this A commit.
Yeah, he now knows, right? These A guys are going to be nice. They're going to be ready. They're going to be switched on. They know the play's coming in. And he's taking a safe rotation. This means these guys in A have got to hold the line. Vinny having a very quiet game right now. Him and FNX need to hold on. Need to buy time for bolts to move in. And they will get a kill apiece. The bomb now moving in through the apartments. Oh, OC up on the short side as well. He's flashed off the angle with Nath dead. This AWP has got a combat AWP, and it's a nice shot for the first. But he's traded immediately after. Just too many targets, too little time. Yeah. And it's Imperial racking up the round count even further.
God, that was a mess of a round for Liquid as well, hitting both bomb sites at the same time. OC even found that opener. He even picked Fallen. I don't know how he got away with it, with Fallen like posted on short side after Imperial pulled back, but trades at B were good. And I almost like that Bolts doesn't flank there, even though he knows he can. He doesn't want to offer Liquid up a way back in. If he safe rotates, you know, he knows by the time he gets to library, either they've already committed or he knows he shouldn't have rotated and he can go back to B. Flanking and running it can offer up, you know, kills to players waiting in mid, as someone like Apex will certainly know. Big fan of doing exactly that. Liquid, they won this round before, but a little less to work with this time. And far more passive for Imperial, not offering up mid picks, not fighting for the short side. Using that AWP at range, where the Deagles will need to fight back.
Just looking like one of these pump and dumps in towards A, although they might try to B-wrap. Yes, with the smoke down, they try to bypass the library AWP. However, Fur's already here. Only one kill. Nitro's going to tap him out. So, Bolt, you're the guy now responsible for B, and you've got to do it alone. Takes this long-range fight and lines up a double. That's the bomb cut loose. Bolts has already done enough. Anything else is just icing on the cake at this point. With the bomb out in an island, out on CT alone. You'd like to think that Bolts has pretty much safeguarded this round. The insurance policy here might have gotten dinked on that swing, but he's just wasting time. He's not overextending. They've had to take a hell of a lot of time off the clock to go and deal with him. And now the rest of Imperial can just play around this bomb. If they can stay alive for 20 seconds and not allow this bomb to get retrieved, they win the round.
How do you get back in here? Fallen double scoped on close. They peek him over the top of the pool. Shox gets 2. Nat follows up. And with 11 health remaining, Liquid steal the round from the palm of Imperial's hand. The double scope. It lets Fallen down. He got peeked up and over. And I don't know how Imperial dropped the ball there. That was their round to play. Liquid, the last 2 rounds they've won, Harry, have been half buys, have been Tech 9 taps. That's a sick round to win in a 2-on-4 with no bomb, with only the sight. And they win it in gunfights. Despicable for Liquid.
Oh, that was definitely a chance. OC not going to get many of them. And now there's already a guy pushed aggro down towards logs. You've lost Banana. It might just force you to go for an immediate reaction into this A site, right? Try break it apart again. Fallen Flash, they are up and past that molly, but he didn't shoot. If he did, that could have been everything. Vinny,
no.
That was the chance, but he's only good for 1. FNX can't fill the void. And so Liquid, they run down this A site. They come in with another round, now starting to piece together a T-half after all. They've broken the money of Imperial, and they've broken this A-bomb site again.
Oh, that's a round that's prefaced by, like, guys, why are we respecting them? We're better. Like, why, you know, why bother? Let's just run them down. And what a perfect round out of Liquid. Definitely some balls dropped there for Imperial, right? Not firing the AWP, quick switching instead. Vinny, they had no idea. They were never going to check it. If he held that shot till the flash expired, he could have won the round with 3 kills right there, but just shoots too soon, and 1 for 1 is not enough when you get run down like that. Liquid, I love the pace change. It's exactly what they needed to catch Imperial by surprise, and suddenly we're looking at what could be a 7-round half by the end of things. Savers again, big for Imperial. When we've had quick A plays, you know, Fur and Bolts have gotten away with these guns, but it's very clear Liquid know who are the problem pieces, which is the problem site, and they're doing their best to avoid it. It's do or die now for Imperial. Win this round, or we are looking at that split half where, you know, it may have started pretty dire for Liquid, but an 8-7 will be damn fine. Someone give it a poke.
Oh, Fallen.
Do it.
Being tempted. He knows that greed is one of the sins, so he doesn't go swinging out down middle.
What are the others?
I plead the fifth. Vinny holding the long side on this one. And A's kind of been the problem area for Imperial. You know, it's been hard to fault the B holds, really. They've gotten away with a lot. They've often saved the day. Needed to see a little bit more. Someone like Fallen with this AWP, who this time's posted it short. Doesn't want to get caught over-aggressing again, because OC's on the angle. This was how he opened up with the AWP last time. Fallen will respect it. Liquid, they start to leave middle. They start to group over at Banana, looking for this B play. And Imperial, because they're feeling the pressure, because they're worried about this A site, they've sent Fur up and away. Liquid don't respect that smoke. They go running through it, and now they're inside the B site. 1 kill could be enough to set Imperial up to retake, right, and just play the numbers game. Might end up in a weird little 5v5 kind of motion.
Liquid lost for the plant. They will get it down at least. Imperial
This
not
is a bit of a
wanting
cooked
to give
round,
it up,
man.
but they might have to with these players so far away. And no one's even giving up an inch. This is going to be it. Like we said, it was do or die. It was play for this or, you know, eco the next. And Imperial don't like those odds. They'll give it up. They'll give Liquid a 6th. But they will at least allow a rebuy. A very awkward round to just completely concede, especially considering how solid these B players have been. But locked out of the bomb site. Liquid, ballsy cool. But it pays off just well enough. And the unicorn round is back, baby.
Yeah, 10 alive. Have we had any so far? I don't think we have.
I haven't seen one in a while.
Yeah? So there we go, Unicorn round. We all love them.
It's Inferno all over, man. The 5v5 alive. And now we go back in with another attempt for Imperial.
Yeah, you know, I mean, dude, so much of that boils down to, I think it was Naf lurking over in the apartments. He just, like, lobbed a late flash out to give the illusion that they were trying to go for, like, another one of these apps pops. And it kept 2 players there. And that just meant you couldn't field the resources for the retake. So, you know, it's a good example of how, like, you don't even really need, you know, it's kind of... You don't have to, like, get all these crazy opens. You can try and just outmaneuver, out-mind game your opponent as things drag on.
Yeah, I think part of that is also the awareness that Imperial have that A is the weaker site, right? So they do want to lean that way. They will as well here. 4 in position. Fallen missed shot, look dead on. Dead to Nitro instead. It's Fur committed to the long side, low on ammo. He still finds a second headshot. The reload is where he goes down. Still a 3-on-2. Liquid double back to get that bomb, but they can take either site. It's going to be weak. It's going to be one man, and they'd rather fight Vinny 5 and 7, having a slower one today. He's at least crept into the pit just in time, and he seems to think things are coming down. That motor smoke should confirm it. He doesn't want to bite the bullet too soon. Naf with a double nade. It's a bit of a fake out. Molly as well. Vinny can't get comfortable. They jump him, they trade it, and OC with a second shot has enough time to clean the site and plant for his teammate.
Yeah, Bolts is super late to this one, right? Always paranoid that Liquid could have changed their mind, could have come back his way. So now he's left late lurking up through middle. Now on the upside, a lot of his B rotations have been safe, right? Have been through CT, have been through library. And so right now, Liquid have their attention divided. They've got good positions to try trade this, though. Bolts, as he swings out, hasn't checked the graveyard, has gotten himself deep, but his success kind of sails him down the river, right? He never knew about Shocks in grave, never knew he was there, and so is blindsided by him. Liquid, they've actually scraped this one together, right? It was super dire early on. It looked like Imperial could have just ran away with this map, but now they're giving them a run for their money, and they end up with a T side that they can be happy with moving into this second half of play.
Yeah, Fallen started really solid as well. Definitely had some awkward misses on the long side near the end of things. OC warmed back into the half with a couple of 2K rounds. Some of them falling on dead ears, but not that one. And yeah, Imperial still happy with the lead at the end of the half, but Liquid, they've certainly closed that gap. They're here to play. Got some nades dropped over. Spread thin. Lots of util for Imperial. And a bit of a B-stack for Liquid, lining up flashes to fight, but they don't have time to set him up and throw him in. Naf just has to fight for his life. They're running at him. That bomb committed, by the way. Double util down on the sandbags. Naf is still going to live and re-swing back in for more. He wants to fight for the round, and he fights for the ace. All 5 from Naf. No stopping him. They may molly his position twice over, and it won't do a thing about him. That is just insane. I don't know how he kills all 5. So many shots fired.
Just kind of ridiculous, isn't it? Like, also, of course, you're getting like wrecked, peppered by flashbangs the whole time. There's everyone else trying to help out as well, but Naf is just the guy to soak up all the glory. And I mean, now, you know, just down to pistols here. Imperial having to take a light one, having to take a load off, but this is going to allow Liquid to slip into the lead. Oh, the times are changing here.
Oh, do they want a full send? I mean, it's NA after all, maybe. Just maybe, but Naf holds on. Despite his intuitions telling him to mash that W key, he will sit back at logs while Nitro baits and jumps. And even if Imperial want to clear this, doing so with just 1 P250 should be a mauling. Now swinging wide though, and even though he drops the bomb, this is getting a bit awkward. That Dink is misleading. 4 damage. The nade will slow Nitro down. He needs to run away. They are trying to gun him down with this MP9. Retrieved and picked up by Vinny, who will get that kill. Elige with no smoke. It's an open shooting ground, and he luckily keeps the round intact for Liquid. That really could have gotten out of control there with Naf swinging out into 5 players at bottom B. But Liquid get rid of the eco, and now the second half starts.
Yeah, I want to see what Fallen has cooked up for us, right? What ideas he's going to field in this first rifle round here and now. Wonder if Liquid are going to be as aggressive over towards Banana as well, right? Obviously, the anti-eco, they felt like they could take some liberties, but what's going to be the protocol now? It's a bit safer, a bit more standard now. They lob that deeper smoke in. Vinny out in the top middle. Him and Fur do combine for a kill. Fur's now looped out of there and looking to move into the apartments with FNX. This early opener has forced the hand of Liquid to pull an extra player over here towards A. Got Nafly on that rotation. That leaves Nitro anchoring B. This isn't info that Imperial are privy to just yet. But they might be able to catch Liquid re-aggroing into top middle. They still want to keep this flow of information here. They want to know if Imperial are trying to set their sights on top mid. And because they have this crossfire, they actually go ahead and move Shox over to B. I wonder if he's trading out with Nitro. No, it will just be both of them holding the site together. So suddenly the whole round comes down to OC and Nafly both stopping this top mid play. Because if they die, that's the round. There's no coming back for it. Nafly mollied out, burning alive now. Shox wrapping through B is cut down as well. And at this point, Imperial, they just need to do the formality, need to dot their I's, cross the T's. It's up into the B site where one man resides. Nitro here, tucked in, 20 seconds, going to try and win it to time.
I don't know if they know. They can clear it now. He's given it up. 15 seconds fallen trades. That had to happen. That was the bomb and potentially the round with his teammates a little further away. FNX was hunting for Naf on that A site, and while he may have caged him in to CT spawn, there were worlds where that round could go very, very wrong. Not this one, though. It's going to be 9-9. And Naf should be good to save, as no one's hunting this final kill. Fulham will move to CT, though. However, not the most common angle to check.
Yeah, Naf should be all good.
Indeed. Yep, and the standout player. Ace has certainly helped in the numbers. But CT side, we're going to see where those holes reside, as you know, Liquid certainly found them in Imperial's defense.
Yeah, what is kind of exciting as well is like you hope that OC has a lot more impact with the AWP. Obviously, T-side opening Inferno kind of sucks, kind of hard to find that impact. And I think even then, the few times he did pull it in, was actually able to get a decent amount done with it, right? Won a couple of fights over Fool and just helped apply pressure with the T-Orp. Won't get to see a CT Orp out of him anytime soon, though, as it is just kind of one of these eco rounds around the hero gun of Naf. How does he want to use it? When he had the hero AK, it was his kind of decision to fight very early, and this round is no different. Immediately throws himself into the firing line, but not a good result. He's gone, he's lost teammates. It's all starting to fall apart in this one, and the odds of a hero rifle saving the day for Liquid are pretty much out the window now.
Oh, even one bullet tagging Nitro is so much info, and Imperial will just start spamming the smoke. Kill here will be the round. Alicia's made that call to rotate. Shox is even here as well. Reload. Wonder if that gets heard by Imperial. They're fully set up, though. They really want to commit with this. No hurry, however. That kill just delivered on a platter to Vinny. And Nitro gets volleyed out, just trying to fight with a Deagle. Won't happen here for Liquid. It's a flawless round so far for Imperial. And that's all they ever wanted on the anti-eco. Gun cycled over a couple of players. Never to find anything. Shox is going for it.
Okay.
They've cycled it out.
He can hear it. He heard where it dropped. He knows it's in pool, but how on earth... Oh, they've seen him now. They've seen him now. He's in hot water, and they run him down. Vinny with a big triple, right? He's had a pretty quiet time of things in spite of a lot of these plays ending up in kind of A-side executes for Liquid. Vinny was struggling, but we're starting to get more mileage out of him as the game goes on. And I think if you end up with this third player to join and bolt some fur with the game they're having, Imperial could find themselves in a really good position. Because when you look on the other side of things, you know, yeah, we have Naf kind of sat up top of the board, like you pointed out, the ace definitely helped him there. But then looking down the line, OC has mentioned, you're hoping, but he's on like a timer to bring the AWP out as to whether or not he can turn it around. And Elige has been pretty underwhelming for the most part. Don't have that same trifecta on the other side.
Yeah, B control, not been there for Liquid, not obviously had all these gun rounds, but that needs to be the focus in that next rifle round, just to get Imperial out of here in the early stage. They've just been running up top B for free, and now they get to throw in a little bit of a fake as well. Liquid won't panic. It's only one smoke and a flash. And in a round like this, you are committed. You are stuck into your setup, stuck in your ways. Or here on a crossfire. Shock's anti-flash is going to hear the util coming. USP, the 5-7 spanning away, but it was never going to be pretty. However, that one is a mincing from Imperial. 5-on-2, and nothing can go wrong. Just got to convert. Who mollies Graveyard? Come on.
Dude,
not even the pits, just Graveyard. They know.
It's really nice, isn't it? Nitro here all alone, man. But what are you going to do? 5-7 in a dream. He's got the berries, got the cherries, but does he have the balls? There's the first. Rat from long. Fallen will get rid of him. And so it's Imperial coming in with an 11th round. Liquid, now they have money. Now they have a chance to bring that AWP out. They're going to supplement this with attack pause, right? They know if they are going to turn this around, if they're going to get out of their heads, it needs to happen sooner rather than later. The CT side can feel so punishing when you're just getting it dished to you round after round. They start to hit like 2-for-1s. You're having to lean into saves all the time, take a lot of gambles. And I mean, really, I'm looking at OC as like the golden ticket. That feels like the missing piece, and it feels like this AWP needs to have impact from the get-go.
That's the scariest part, right? Because you're right, it's true. But at the same time, if you start taking audacious peaks without a spawn, and you give up a 5-on-4, like you're digging your own grave at that point. So got to toe the line. Fallen did a pretty good job of that with the short peaks in the start of the CT side.
It looks like OC has a kind of cool spawn to go for something like.
Let's go naps.
Yeah, I hope he actually follows through with a peak. Oh.
Yeah, you know, you don't want to take any crazy peak. You don't want to get naded. Just sat back on short side. Still a very impactful position. Nitro behind the Molotov. Hello. He can't see back through. Vinny could see nothing. We saw from his perspective, which is smoke. But it's Nitro who walks on the water and comes out with that kill. And even escapes back to the bomb site untraded. So 5v4. This is bread and butter for Liquid. Imperial going right into this orb.
Oh, that swing, the timing on it, so close to just nullifying the AWP. Shock's pixel angle, and he might have taken one to the dome, but he still wins that out. Options are starting to feel like they're running dry for Imperial in this round, right? You still got bolts lurking B, but he eventually has to make that awkward decision, like, do I just taper off and play with the team? And that will come now. So Banana's now been given up, your hands are tied, you're forced into this A play, and you need results. Start to move in. Smoke to try and get FNX out of the apartments, try and have him carry a bit of impact here. Elige with a crossfire between Graveyard inside of the site. Up they go, FNX first man down. Shock's wonderful round out of him, and OC's AWP will complete it with that final kill. So Liquid back into the swing of things now, right? The AWP finds the kill. Shock's tremendous little three-piece out of the guy, right? That opener onto the pixel angle from Balk. That is a tricky shot to hit, and the fact that he did get dinked and aim punched on the back of it, you know, makes it even more impressive that he gets it over the line.
Shows Imperial what the A1S is like. Oh, you got a headshot. Oh, it's not enough, is it? Oh, well, that's a shame. He got two right back. Yeah, Imperial still have a good amount of cash to fall back on here for a couple more rifle rounds, but we started to see this triple B lean early for Liquid. The banana util just to keep Imperial out, force a lot more of their utility if they want to take this area. Nitro is fighting for it with a deep nade as well. Oh, it's fine, Imperial are happy being patient. Vinny will eat that nade. And OC's still back on short, but he's already beginning to swap out on the long side. Could see a double long setup. Imperial were pretty good at keeping it fresh on A, right from a lot of heavy 4 stacks in middle to triple shorts to these bait and switches long, even though we saw how ugly that could be with some missed shots from Fallen on long side. OC's on his angle now. And he's going to smoke here, but doesn't want to give up the AWP. Won't timing shot. Instead, it's a flashback down B for Liquid.
Yeah, they've once again got Nitro playing deep, but he's looking a little worse for wear here, and he's kind of missed the timing to cross out. Like, he doesn't... You know, you're dedicated now. You're stuck on the angle. There's no going back. There's no retreating. And to that peak from bolts, it's impressive that Nitro even does as much damage as he does before getting dropped there. Still, early advantage now resides with Imperial. 30 seconds. They take a lot of time working for that 5-on-4. But now that it's been delivered, they've just got to follow through, lining up all this util over towards A. Smoke goes over to cut off Arch and the long side. You're going to feel very restricted here if you're OC, but he will just get back into the safety of long. In with another peek, can't quite connect. Moto smokes in, and he's found through it. Shox is going to do it all alone. Dropping the bomb, dropping the right man can do it, but the bomb gets past. A 2v2, Vinny with the plant, and Imperial are not out of this one yet.
Oh, almost a smoke spam for a Liege. He's down low. He's got to go right through it as well. It started to fade. Vinny in the open hits the headshot, and Naf in a 1v2. He has been the guy we can rely on, but this is going to be quick target picking, and he can't find a head. FNX from the pit with 3, and saving that round off of the apps drop, dropping Shox, who was the problem piece, the one man still in the bomb site. That one hurts for OC as well. He hit his opening shot, but just couldn't follow up, and even got spammed out from apps. Look at that shot. Just couldn't even see him. Just fired through. Just knew. Good communication for Imperial, and they just about get it over the line.
Yeah, even the detail of like knowing that AWP was going to be a problem with him not a library or arch, so still throwing the moto smoke, even though those other areas were smoked off, right? Just trying to restrict his movement. Mid-push, going to get churned up by Fur. Don't know about the second man. Nitro gets away with it. It's a brawl in middle. The gloves are off. It's bare knuckle here. And Bolts, he's winning every single fight. He tips the scales back in favor of Imperial. And now they group in the apartment. Shox, he's been a bit of a force to be reckoned with here. Only has this MP9 to work with. But with low HP on Fur, I wouldn't put a miracle past him.
Especially if he catches Fallen here on his own. Fallen's patient. Shox might walk right into this, but now grouped up, both players.
They're
don't
both
want to block each other.
My goodness.
Low player first. That's only going to help Shox out if he's the one to commit. They're in no hurry. The rotates out. Naf is in position as well. Crossfire, but they're waiting for Bolts. They want to peek it together. This is dry. This could get really, really weird. Bolts is going all the way round, and Liquid have doubted themselves. They don't like the silence. They've heard nothing, not a step. Imperial now 3 up in the house. And Shox is even cheating back as well. He doesn't like it.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you've got to take gambles, you've got to take risks. And unfortunately, you know, you bet on black, but it's come up green. Shox realizes they're just there. They're already out, mate. You can't do anything about that. He's chased off of long. He's forced back. Well, recommit. Up on the short side, going to give it another go with this MP9. And because he was so decisive, he's very, very quick here, right? I don't think you're ready for him to already be in the apartments. Here, Nafly firing off. He's still committed, still invested. They're putting a lot of faith in Shox to see what he can get away with here. And he knows about this graveyard player. If Fur is even tempted for a second to stand up, to take a peek, he is a dead man.
How do you do that? How do you force that? Naf has to go. The smoke is still down, and nothing's getting given up. A flash from the site, and Liquid are just forced to save.
Nerves of steel, man.
That's sick for Imperial. They don't know how close that round is to falling apart. That's the first domino. If Shox gets that kill on an uncrouched Fur, suddenly Naf flies in off long, and Liquid could win that round just about, but the option just simply isn't given. Shox is fighting for the X's as well. Fur has to run. Oh, he just gets back in time. And so Imperial, man, I love what they're doing in these mid-rounds.
This is like such an anxiety-causing round, like you say. Like,
but no cause for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
like even in the save there, man, like they just turned at the perfect moment to dodge Shoxy. Like, you know, he had a chance to just do some economic damage, and at the very end, and even that's bypassed by Imperial. You know, the whole 3v2 scenario was on a knife's edge when they were going to go out boiler, and they decide to hold their ground. They decide to wait it out, and all that patience proves to be one hell of a virtue for Imperial. Up onto 13 now. An eco around these hero guns. Shox and Nafly, they've been the two heavy hitters so far. They've been the two that have caused the most problems for Imperial. So I guess they are the two you'd want with them.
You know, what's great about that round is Liquid, their whole intention was to cause chaos, right? Remember how it started with the mid push, with Nitro going aggressive, with Naf fighting down Banana, and despite all of that, Imperial long it out to the slowest mid round we've seen yet on this T side. They don't let Liquid's chaos overwhelm them, they stay very calm. And it's Liquid who is sweating the entire way. I mean, look at them out-rotating themselves in that round. If they walk B, they are dead. Out they go, 2 pistols gone. Naf trades. It was all part of the setup. They wanted Naf to trade, but 2 for 1 is great for Imperial off of numbers alone. And now only one of these guns left in the right bomb site. Shox, he has to be involved this time. I'd love to see him anchor pit or just stay in the bomb site, because last time it was the extremities that let him down. He's re-aggroing, so is Naf. He lines up a kill on the long side, but he can't escape. Fur even picks Shox, who tried to get aggressive on short, and it's a Liege alone who they will avoid.
They just leave. Yeah, they just go. They're like, fine, man, you can have it with the Deagle. You can try to win this, but we're not going to play into your hands. Now, he knows they're taking this long rotation, so he's going to try and beat them to it up through Banana, but his smoke is already down. And really, I think FNX have just sealed the deal on this round by dropping that smoke. If Elise tries to wait for it, he won't have time. There's no winning. So he's going to have to go through, and going through while it's being held, he will manage to slip the net initially. That spam stops the aim of the game, and now Elise is caught by Fallen, who fast wraps CT to deal with him, and Imperial are up onto 14. Everything for Liquid now balances on this one rifle round to try and stop Imperial picking up the victory. And leaving Liquid 0-2.
These have been really well-called mid-rounds for Imperial, right? Where they stay calm despite the chaos. But I think in these last 2 rounds, if Shox had just anchored and played for a plant, he could have won really both of these rounds. He could have won, you know, either, if not both of them, for Liquid. But he's panicked, he's re-aggressed, he's changed position. Like, sometimes you just got to double down and play for plant, in pit, insight. Yes, there's a chance you just get hard cleared or traded by Imperial. But right now, his re-aggro, his hunt for information has only let Liquid down in these mid-rounds. And it's not like they've had another piece to rely on. So, this is it. This is what you're playing for if you're Liquid. Imperial, this could be a hell of an upset on their best map. We were scared it was even in this BO1 series, and this would send the loser down 0-2, Harry. A single best of 3 away from elimination from the major. Even Cole longed out 1-1 today by taking down IHC last game. Liquid, can they do the same, or is it Brazil?
It's another one of these just so grueling, like slow starts out of Imperial, where they don't give you a lot to go off of early on. Now they show their hand, and Fur wins an opening fight with FNX there to help him. It's a wonderful double opener. Elise is trying to plug the hole, but he gets riddled full of them. Fur takes his head off, and Nafly and Nitro, they're left saving. There's no playing into this one. It is decided on those 3 kills in an instant, and with that, Imperial are up onto 15, just 1 away from leveling out, course correcting, and going 1-1.
Yeah, we saw that same kind of call from Liquid near the end of their T side, where they just suddenly amped up the pace. They ran through the mid smoke, and they wrapped long on a really quick arch play and triple entry and won the round. Imperial do that, but they one up it, Harry. They don't even flash. They just walk out of balcony. Liquid were not expecting such disrespect. They have been pinched out of this round, and they may save nothing. Naf trying his best to keep this gun, but they've gone through the Molotov, and 15 rounds found for Imperial. My goodness. A head-to-head that we haven't seen in over 4 years for these cores. And core, 1 more round ought to do it for Imperial.
You know, you've just got to be impressed by what they're giving us, man. Like, you really do. it's kind of like evocative of what started the whole, run for guys like Fallen in the first place. In a way, he's in a similar spot, but for different reasons. It's like no one really expected a whole lot out of this Imperial project when it was announced, and here they are, like managing to pretty convincingly best out Liquid here on Inferno. That's how it's looking like it's going to go at 15-10, and I think, maybe you've underestimated them, Liquid. Maybe you thought that you had this one in the bag, and Imperial, they're showing them up here. Tag onto Shocks, he's going to get spammed out by Fur, and FNX follows up. These two again are just running amok in the apartments. It belongs to FNX and Fur. They're on the contract. They've signed the lease. Get out of it, Liquid. It's not yours anymore.
Whose house? Gowler's house. Liquid just got to hold on. Clinging to this map with 3 kills away. Imperial run them down. The tags will do nothing. Now finishes Fur. FNX and Fallen still tagged up, but he is all that stands. Good grenade through the smoke. Maybe he'll have to go with a flash over the top. Imperial have already evacuated and evaporated back to that B bomb site. This should be it. Naf doesn't even have a kit. The second that bomb is down, well, the gate is closed. And Fallen up against his former team might be putting them through and going 0-2.
Yeah, Naflight, he's on quite the timer here. Odds so stacked against him, and Imperial, they get the info, they've got the spot, and now they don't need to fight anymore. The pressure's not on them, it's on Liquid, it's on Naflight. He's looking for solutions, but all he's seeing are more problems as he probes deeper in. It's damage to bolts, but at this point you need kills, and quite simply, there just isn't time. Imperial gonna lock this one in over Liquid. Fur with an incredible performance, bolts up there alongside him. It all started to come together in that second half. Fallen with the calls was on fire. Hop in the time machine, boys, because they back. It's 1-1 right now. Imperial, they've course corrected Hugo. They're right back into this for Liquid. It's down in the dumps, down in the doldrums. 0-2, staring elimination in the face. They've got to compete a feat now that only, like 1 in 10 teams have been able to accomplish. 10% going from 0-2, having a reverse sweep if they want to get to the next stage of the major.
Just unbelievable. And even that mental hill to climb over as well, knowing that you're Liquid. One of the teams that I think in that, even in the bottom row of Pick'ems, were feeling like a safe bet for so many people, for us included. This is shocking for Liquid. Definitely underperformances from some of the individuals. Allegiant really sharp today. OC on that CT side, we only saw like 1 AWP kill in the entire half, I feel. And yeah, a couple of rounds where Shock certainly could have won. That, he kind of got a little antsy there, ants in the pants for Liquid. But I don't want to take it away from Imperial. I think that T side was phenomenal, and they had really nice mid-rounding. Just shocking, especially that B hold as well from Fur and Bolts in the first half. Like, they were just absolutely slapping Liquid out of their bomb site. That was a joy to watch, and it's a very scary situation that now puts this entire stage of the Antwerp Major under a microscope.
Yeah, man. When we look at the scoreboard, it's no surprise who comes out on top here. We spoke about them all game because they were having so much impact, especially in the CT side of things with Fur and Bolts. I think both of them. It's like you can't have one without the other in that kind of situation. Like, they were instrumental to this being an Imperial victory. And Fur, I feel even better about bigging up his kind of freedoms that he's given on this map, because I think we saw so much of that in the first half. Like, really, you never truly know where you're going to fight this guy. 1 minute, it's deep banana. Next minute, he's the 4th man reinforcing that A-hold. It's clear that Fallen's got a real read on how he wants to conduct his team on this map, and they're not afraid to put faith in individuals who are able to step up either. That was a real class act out of Imperial. There's just no denying it. And yeah, for Liquid, I'm incredibly underwhelmed. Incredibly underwhelmed.
Definitely. What's so surprising as well for me for Imperial is, like, we look at this team and it's not even like the latest player who was performing at the top in Vinny, who's like carrying them through these impossible. He's actually a pretty quiet guy.
He's like a mid-level player, right?
Just anchoring down in pit, not really needed to do too much in that CT side. That's it's not shocking to see Fur perform well, but to take down Liquid in that fashion, it never felt like Liquid were really in that second half in the CT side. That's 2 Inferno games today for Liquid. both of them washes. 16-6 fell to G2 this morning as well. So one more chance for Liquid in a best of 3. They got to win 3 of them, all 3 of them, no second chances to keep going through to that next stage of the major. For us, if you haven't had enough Brazil action or South American CS, we got more for you. We got 90 and we got MIBR coming up next.
The PGL America's RMR so far has been entertaining, disappointing, exciting, all of the above. Of course, I'm from North America, so a little bit rough to see EG go out. But then on the other side of that, today, we saw EG go out to 9Z, who went on to qualify to the actual major and really earn those stickers. They looked so incredible. I was absolutely enamored by the energy and the emotions there. I think I was almost on the verge of tears, actually, when they won. And I really expected Pain to take that game. So some really incredible results that have come out of this minor so far.
I think there's definitely some standout individuals and standout rosters here at the RMR that did underperform, sadly. But with every underperformer, you also get the overperformers. And so I'm going to look more towards the guys like 9Z and MIBR as well. Just because of the 9Z fairy tale reverse sweep, I don't think that MIBR are maybe getting as much recognition as kind of a team that outperformed expectations. So in general, I'm happy. I think the region's in a decent place. I think Party Astronauts also kind of played to a good level and made some close games. You always want the best for your region and for all competitors, but all in all, I'm happy with the way it ended.
Just at the end of the last match of the America's RMR, where Max made a play inside of the B site to take down, I think it was actually every round of overtime, where he got basically 4 kills each time.
Gotta be big. DGT draws attention. Max has got the lineup. 2 kills for him. A potential 3rd, and it's all Max all day.
Mad Max. He mid-rounded one round where Lucan got tagged down low, and then he found a way to kill Nython at A site, planted the bomb in a 2vx situation. The amount of ingenuity that came out of Max alone was unbelievable, to the point that I can't even remember which round was which. So Max as a whole was the play of the entire event for me.
9Z, 1 more kill, and they have an edge at the end of this T side. Molly at the feet of Hard Zhao. He extinguishes it and pushes, and as he pushes, he gets turned back.
No way in hell.
It's give and take. You know, I'm just happy for regions who maybe don't get as many chances coming into a place where if North American Counter-Strike can't remain as competitive as it once was, let's give those spots to the teams who will perform and who will take these chances with both hands. And I think that's what we really got here in Bucharest. I think that's what will be, represented on stage in Antwerp. NACS still needs to heal.
Yeah, they tried and they failed and they tried and they failed, but no, you ain't never gonna break this.
Overall, NA has this problem right now of not enough talents, whereas compared to European teams, there are academy leagues, thousands and thousands of face-it players who have 6K or over.
They're looking over towards Catwalk. Oh, this is a huge mistake. Honda, 4 kills, sprays them down.
NA, the talent pool is not that deep, and we've got a lot of people to either come back from other games or just commit to teams within CS, but there's still not enough talent to create 3 solid teams. So I think you could make 2 incredibly good teams, but not 3 right now. But we have 3 major orgs that are kind of fighting for all of these players. So that's the issue for NA.
I think it's kind of poetic that of the 1 legend spot at the Antwerp major, we have Furia again. They proved that they still have it, despite having some rocky issues coming back from the online period with the PGL Stockholm major. Getting top 8 there kind of set them up. It could have been, I think, like a one-off performance if things weren't so good, but they came in here and they dominated, and they looked next level. So for the time being, in terms of the Americas region, Furia, a little bit untouchable at the moment, playing the same way they always have with crazy confidence. And if we look at NA specifically, I expect big things from Liquid, actually. Shocks at this event specifically definitely stepped up. There's just this weird asterisk next to Liquid because a loss to 0-0 Nation to start off the event, once that happened, it was flawless. They ran it all the way back. And this last piece of Liquid was supposed to be Shox. So if he's going to start performing like he did at this RMR, once he's on the world stage with the better regions, then maybe Liquid could be up there. And if we've got to talk dark horses, my eyes are on Complexity. They're a team of very hungry individuals who have all kind of gone off on different projects, failed in one way or another, and then come back together to try and push the limits to what we've previously seen. So those are the 3 teams I'm looking at, but for now, Furia, top 8, top 4.
Now that's what we call major. 14 days of high-octane action. 14 days of fierce battles. 14 days of special bonuses from GG Bet. Whoop, cheer, and make your fortune.